let's talk about that, because you also said on Twitter that they were trying to erase your legacy. Talk about how they're tangibly trying to do that, what you're trying to get from them by way of, I guess, restitution is the word.
Well, by erasing my legacy, if you take me off the opening of the show and take the Woo, which I own, thank God, because they'll never get it back, and replace me with the Ultimate Warrior, a guy that sued the company, held them up for money. I guess the next thing they're going to do with me is make a DVD saying, have so many people saying how bad I was, like I did with the Warrior. Then they brought him back and put him in the Hall of Fame. That ain't going to work for me. One and done. And I very openly, I text Vince. No worries, but you're not going to bring me back. Not that they want me by any means, but I could never work for Nick Khan in my entire life. Vince McMahon, I could work for, but Nick Khan, who's the guy that orchestrated taking me off the show, I've got my facts together, orchestrated taking the Woo off, never in a million years.
Well, don't you?
Khan, big difference between Tony Khan and Tony Khan respects me. He has, as does Vince. Nick Khan has none. I talk to Vince now. I got no problems with Vince. He just knows I won't come back.
Now, don't you think that eventually they're going to want to put you back in the opening? They're going to want to restore you. That's kind of how it works. I mean, Hogan drifted for a while. They brought him back. Warrior drifted for a while. They brought him back. I mean, I know in wrestling, you never say never, Nate, but it sounds like you're saying never.
Absolutely never. I'm 72. I could be dead tomorrow. The last thing I'd want was for them to make a package on me. Ever.
Well, don't be dead tomorrow.
I'll leave all that to Tony Khan.
Well, don't be dead tomorrow. We got to get this podcast rolling before that happens. Now,
we're going to do so well with this. Let me just tell you something else that should not shock the world. When I saw that, they took me off the opening and all that, and for whatever reason, who knows? I call it lack of respect. Some people said to me, Rick, how do you feel about that? And I said, well, after them asking me to assign my intellectual property to them while I was on life support, nothing that company does surprises me.
See, but you don't tie that to Vince, which I find curious.
No,
I mean,
he had nothing to do with it.
Really?
He had nothing to do with it, which he made very clear to me.
I don't know. Vince is the boss there, right? I mean,
yeah, he's the boss, but you have to look at it. WWE is not just a wrestling company. They're Disney. I mean, they do everything. They make movies. I mean, he's got so much to oversee, and because he's so hands-on, he still can't be totally. He still can't totally watch over everything. But let me clarify something else. You brought up something very interesting. When I talked about my legacy being erased and that,
right?
I need to get back to what I tweeted about wanting back. That right there. I was having a difficult time, obviously through divorce. You can't be paying alimony to 3 women. That's not the best formula to live by. So when Hunter called me to buy that belt, I sold it to him for $50,000. Okay, bingo. I also took the 92 Royal Rumble belt, which Vince let me keep when they brought the new belt, right? And I gifted it to him with a note saying, I wish I could have dropped it to you in 1986. Meaning when I was good at what I was doing, which I was no good at the time, but that's how much I thought of our friendship. So I have asked for that back because that's part of my legacy. And I said, I want to pay for them. Why do you want them? Why do you want something that you don't want? In other words, you can't put me in the front of your show, but you want to hold something that nobody else in that whole company has been but me? That's the kind of stuff that upsets me. I want to buy it back. I don't expect them to give it to me, but it's mine.
Nate, I could not agree more, and I could also not agree more that we have done it again. What an episode of Ric Flair Woo Nation Uncensored.
When do we shoot?
I'll tell you, we can shoot on the Steelers for a second. How about that? They rally from 1,000,000 points down, then blow it at the end.